Coming up on Seminole Sports Magazine, the men's basketball team has Seminole fans on the edge of their seats. We'll take an inside look as the men charge forward to another ACC championship. The men's golf team tees off in their first tournament of the new year in less than a week. How are these Noles getting back into the swing of things? Spring is just around the corner, and the FSU softball team is hard at work preparing for the upcoming season. What is this team doing to prepare for opening day? These stories and more on Seminole Sports Magazine presented by AT&T. Hello everyone, I'm Rob Wilson. The men's basketball team won their first ever ACC championship last season and is looking to repeat. But the team is facing many challenges, including a tough ACC schedule and adding 6 new players into the mix. Jillian Tapper takes a look at these challenges and the team's expectations for this season.
Peterson dribbles, drives, just there. 3-point shots there. Got it! Got it!
The edge of the seats at the Tucker Center have seen a lot of wear and tear.
Shot of the buzzer. It's no good!
That's where FSU fans sat most of last season. The men's basketball team kept the fans on the edge of their seats after they shot down opponent after opponent after opponent.
Jumps the ball. Jerem shot, Snare. Good shot! Noles win! Noles win! Michael Snare's triple.
It was heart-stopping plays like this last-second 3 against Duke that helped the Noles claim their first ever ACC championship.
Zeller gets the ball inbounds. Hairston dribble, puts up a prayer, NBA 3. It's no good! The Seminoles win! Florida State's the champions of the Atlantic Coast Conference. Let the celebration begin. If you wear guarded, you're grinning ear to ear. Florida State is your 2012 ACC champions.
I don't think anything else will beat that out, winning that and the feeling of winning the ACC for the first time in Florida State's history. Coming through life, you don't get opportunities like that all the time, so we had a lot of great opportunities last year, and we connected on them.
It means everything to me. I spent just the amount of time I spent here and, all the hours and time I put in here and just trying to make this team, the best team possible, all the sacrifices I've made and, everything I've tried to do just to make this team a great team.
Senior guard Michael Snare was a big part of the team's championship, but he is still hungry for more.
It's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of leadership. It's going to take a lot of willpower. It's going to take a lot of guys, trying to do it together. It's going to take a lot from our vets, myself included, just to take it to that next level. And I'm the oldest guy on this team, and I have the most experience on this team, and I'm going to have to, make sure I get these guys ready and get them believing. And I just want to see that continue to grow. I don't want just to start with me, or I wanted to continue to grow. After I'm long gone, I want to be able to come back and see the result of something that I helped start.
The Noles got off to a slower start this season, but have already recorded some key conference wins. And with the ACC action heating up, they'll have a chance to test their skills against some of the best teams in the country. Last season, the Noles bested Duke twice. This year, the Blue Devils are back for revenge. But Coach Hamilton is not focused on Duke alone. Hamilton says in the ACC, every game is intense and every opponent is a threat.
You take it one day at a time. You try to work as hard as you can on all the little things that you notice important. We have a great staff. We have a great support staff. I have coaches that are extremely experienced. And we have some guys, youngsters, who have bought in and they're working very hard, wanting to elevate our status to be the top program in the ACC. Duke and Carolina are the only 2 teams that have won more games than us, but we are pleased that we're making progress, but we're just not satisfied with being in the 3rd place. Obviously, anytime you're competing, you want to be the best, you want to be the #1.
With 6 fresh faces on the hardwood, from Aaron Thomas to Devin Booker and Monte Brandon, there's no doubt last year's success influenced their decision to come to Florida State.
I saw it on TV, though. I was going crazy in my living room. It was pretty crazy. As long as I keep developing and learning and keep listening to the coaches, I'll definitely keep making more of an impact. I don't feel a lot of pressure. I just know it's a lot of expectations.
So we're an inexperienced team, but that's okay. We still want to represent. We still have goals that we want to reach. And so we're going on about our business, trying to be the best team we can with the talent we have on this year's team.
Even with key leaders on the team, most think of 2013 as a rebuilding year, but Coach doesn't focus on that.
Well, we don't worry as much about the schools that we're playing against as we do ourselves. We have a tremendous amount of pride in who we represent. The name on the front of our jersey says Florida State. So we're more concerned about how we represent ourselves. We want to do that with a tremendous amount of pride and effort.
With last season's success fueling them and a new group of talented freshmen helping the team rebuild, more basketball glory is surely in FSU's future. I'm Jillian Tapper with Seminole Sports Magazine.
The Seminoles are in the middle of the ACC schedule and have some big home games coming up against Duke and Miami. Here's a look at some of the upcoming games, and go to Seminoles.com to purchase your tickets now. When we come back, we'll take an inside look at the men's golf team as they tee up for the season, and Scott Kodak will go one-on-one with senior golfer Chase Seifert. You're watching Seminole Sports Magazine presented by AT&T.
Seminole Sports Magazine is presented by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. By Coke Zero, football-related chest bumps, high fives, and trash talk brought to you by Coke Zero. Enjoy everything.
Welcome back, everyone, to Seminole Sports Magazine presented by AT&T. It's time to review scores and highlights from recent FSU athletic events. Here's Seely Godwin to catch you up with all the latest in Seminole athletics.
Hey there, Seminole fans. I'm Seely Godwin, and this is your Seminole Update. The men's basketball team showed off their skills this week when they opened up the court to ACC rival Clemson in a thrilling finale. The Noles put under pressure early on as Clemson put up 14 points to Florida State's 5 in the first half. But all that changed as soon as Kyle Turbin stepped back on the court. The junior forward played his best game yet, racking in a career best and a team high of 16 points. But senior guard Michael Snare stole the show with his banked-in, buzzer-beating three-pointer that gave the Noles the win, 60-57. The men's tennis squad continued their winning streak when they defeated Florida Gulf Coast and the University of Alabama at Birmingham last weekend. The Noles quickly defeated the Eagles before returning to the court to play a talented UAB team. The Noles wrapped up the weekend undefeated and are 24-0 in singles so far this season. But the men aren't the only ones who are repping the garnet and gold. The women's basketball team took on ACC rival Georgia Tech in one of the most physical games of the season. In the final 5 minutes of gameplay, senior guard Alexa DeLuzio capitalized off of a fast break and helped the Noles regain the lead. Keeping up the pace, senior forward Chelsea Davis snagged a rebound and scored 2 off the glass. Her top performance landed her ACC Player of the Week as the Noles defeated the Yellow Jackets 76-71. And that's a wrap for another week of Florida State domination. I'm Seely Godwin, and that's your Seminole Update.
It's that time of year when the men's golf team shows what they've been working so hard for over the break. The Noles tee off in their first tournament of the new year in less than a week. Aaron Lish caught up with the team on the links to see how they're getting back into the swing of things.
The crack of the driver. The pop of a putt. The beginning of a golf season. It's a new year and a new start for the Florida State men's golf team. Last spring, the team ended the season 8th in the country.
Sophomore Daniel Berger and Chase Seifert have been hitting the links hard on this offseason.
I know a lot of us played over this winter break. We played a couple tournaments. Mostly it's just how hard we practice. The harder we practice, the better we get. It's simple. We spend probably 70% of our time working on short game just because that's really the biggest area that most of us need improvement, and that's where most of the scoring comes from.
I've been working mentally a lot. Some faults I had during the fall, the coach and I have pointed out, and then also working on my golf swing a little bit, my posture, trying to make it a little bit more solid.
I like where we're at right now, and I like the team's mindset. This isn't a group that I get onto about work ethic. This isn't a group that I have to talk to about when they get here about focusing. As you can see from practice today, there's just not a lot of small talk going on out here. They don't waste time, and they're pretty productive.
Focus, confidence, and leadership are instilled in each member of the team.
To be a team leader, They have to do everything right. They can't slip up and show up late to something or turn in assignments late and miss classes. They have to do everything right and set good examples all the time.
Chase is one of the hardest workers that you're ever going to see. He's the first one out at the course, and he's one of the last ones to leave. And when you're that determined, he's obviously determined, or else he wouldn't be out here that much. So he's definitely one of our team leaders this year.
There's no question. He already is a leader. The guys who struggled in the fall, that didn't play as well, he can look at them and say, you know what, I did this too. And if you just keep doing what you do and doing the right things, and good things will happen. So he's leader by example.
I think almost all of us are team leaders. We get along really well as a group, so you know, we're all leaders.
Coach Trey Jones and the players all agree on one thing: it takes confidence.
Really confident. You know, Trey builds a huge amount of confidence in you because he coaches you really well and teaches you to work on the right things, and that just builds tremendous confidence in your game.
You can't accomplish anything if you're not confident. And these guys are really talented, but they're also very hard on themselves. They expect a lot from themselves, and they look around, and it's easy in golf to compare your weakness with someone else's strength and forget about your strengths. So we build their games around their strength and talk about their strengths all the time, and hopefully that will help their confidence.
As the team gets back into the swing of things, they know to win tournaments, they need drive.
They're extremely driven, and when you finish 8th in the NCAA and have a chance to play for a national championship the year before, the older guys are instilling that in the younger ones, how close it was, what we can be, and what we need to do.
If you're here at Florida State on this golf team, you want to be a professional golfer, and to do that you need to have drive and you need to be passionate about it, and we all are.
I'm really excited. We have a really good group of guys and so much talent in this team, and everybody works really hard, and I'm really excited for what's in store.
They're teeing up for a shot at the ACC Championship and the National Championship, and are confident they can make it happen. I'm Erin Lish for Seminole Sports Magazine.
The men's golf team starts their season against their bitter rivals, the Florida Gators in Gainesville, on February 9th. Visit Seminoles.com for the full schedule. When we return to Seminole Sports Magazine, presented by AT&T, Scott Kotick goes one-on-one with senior golfer Chase Seifert and will preview a season of hope for the Seminole softball team.
Welcome back to Seminole Sports Magazine, presented by AT&T. Our guest today is Chase Seifert of the men's golf team, and it's that time of year we get to talk a little golf. You're ready to hit the links. The first tournament is next weekend down in Gainesville. What's it like getting back into the game that you so love?
It's really exciting. It is, and we're all excited for this season. And we've got a good group of guys, and we're all working hard for a common goal, which is that national championship.
Last year you were so close to making that match play. You were just on that outside cut. It was a one stroke against Kent State. How much has that fueled you going into this season?
It has a lot, and especially at the beginning of this year, we ended up tying them in our first 2 tournaments, I think. And so we stayed tied with them from nationals until like our first 2 tournaments of this year. And the coach was like, that's like 100 and something holes that we still tie with this team. We need to do something about it. And so we're going to do that this year.
How much confidence does that give you going into this year? You do lose some key seniors like Wes and Brooks, but you have guys that have been through the battle, so to say.
It's a lot. It gives us a lot of confidence. And we got a good group of guys this year who really put the ball in play and play smart golf, and it's going to help us in the long run.
How much is the team going to rely on you and Doug and Daniel that have been there? Because you do have some freshmen that haven't had a lot of experience.
I think they will a little bit, just for that leadership and the experience that we've had being in that situation, and kind of tell them how to prepare for it and what to expect when you get nervous in the situations.
Let's talk a little bit about your game, obviously a game you know pretty well. But you came into last season maybe being the 7th or 8th golfer, and suddenly you're the number 1 or number 2 golfer on this team. What changed in your game?
Kind of had to believe in myself more, and Trey told me that last year, that I'm a lot better player than I think I am. And I kind of took that to heart over last Christmas break and worked hard, and the results came in the spring.
You saw that in the summer too. What was that summer going like for you? We're winning 3 or 4 tournaments. I mean, most people don't get to win 1 tournament, and you win 3 or 4.
It was an unreal experience. It's something I can barely put into words.
This year, you do start out in Gainesville, a tournament that Florida's pretty much won every single year. What does it take to win on that course? It's a course that maybe if you're not on your game, it can really eat you up.
It takes a lot of good preparation around the greens because grass is really tight, and Trey actually has our course set up the same way as Seminole, and so we're kind of working on that and just preparing for shots that we think we're going to see.
One of the big things for you, obviously, in the offseason was developing leadership, and that's been a big thing. Every single golf team needs a leader. If it's Matt Savage, your assistant coach, or Kittleson, or Brooks, whoever it is, this is your time to shine. What's it been like going away from the game of golf and learning a little bit more about leadership?
Just being a leader, you have to do everything right. That's the thing. And I try to do everything right. I try to set good examples for the underclassmen, and Doug does the exact same thing. And so we kind of work together to provide a good example for the underclassmen.
In the offseason, what was the biggest part of your game that you said, man, I've really improved, this is really going to help me this season?
In the offseason, mental a little bit. Just kind of needed a break and let my mind rest and get back into it, get excited.
And the one thing that kind of coincides with your season starting is a PGA Tour, which obviously everybody on TV loves watching. For you guys that want to be professional golfers someday, what's it like seeing the best of the best play? I know you're a Tiger Woods fan yourself, or seeing McIlroy play. What's it like seeing those guys? I mean, does it give you a little bit extra boost?
It does, and I enjoy watching golf a lot, and because we can relate to it, and I appreciate the shots that they hit just because they're so unbelievably well at their game.
Well, Chase, we appreciate you joining us, man. Thanks for coming in. Best of luck in Gainesville next weekend.
Thank you.
Never an easy place to play, but I think you're going to do pretty well.
Never is.
When we return to Seminole Sports Magazine, presented by AT&T, we'll take a walk on a field of hope as the Seminole softball team prepares for opening day.
Seminole Sports Magazine is presented by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. By Coke Zero, football-related chest bumps, high fives, and trash talk brought to you by Coke Zero. Enjoy everything.
Seminole Highlights is presented by AT&T, rethink possible.
Spring is just around the corner, and that means only one thing: the Seminole softball season is about to begin. Here's Heather Biltock to tell us how the team has been preparing for the season of hope.
You can smell it in the air this time of the year. The fresh cut grass, the sound of cracking bats and popping gloves. It's softball season at Florida State. The season opener is just days away, a game these Lady Seminoles have spent the last 4 months preparing for.
In the fall, we did a lot of conditioning, but it was good, and we had to come together, build each other up, help each other out to get through different things physically and emotionally. And I think that's really going to help with the season, because when it's down to the nitty-gritty, you're going to need to have your team to be there for you physically and emotionally.
We've been doing a lot of kind of one-on-one work with the coaches and with each other, and we've also been doing a lot of team stuff. We're getting started with team stuff later in the week, but I think the biggest thing we've emphasized is our hitting, and just trying to get base hits and trying to get line drives and stuff, and just solid contact and all that.
The Lady Noles finished their season with an astonishing 47 wins, but lost to San Diego State in the 3rd round of the NCAA tournament. But with a new year comes new goals, new dreams. To best last year's record, senior pitcher Monica Perry has added some new weapons to her pitching arsenal.
I've been working a lot on my spins with pitching. I know as a pitcher, we just kind of drill ourselves with spins all the time, and we've been doing that a lot, and been trying to work a lot on location this year, and that way I don't really have a hard time with control at any point, and I can always feel like I control where my pitches are going and stuff.
1-2 from Perry. Got her swinging. 3 straight strikeouts for Monica Perry.
Senior outfielder Morgan Bullock has been honing in on what she believes will be her key to success during her last season as a Seminole.
Focus on fundamentals more. The little things are the things that can build up to the bigger things. So I focused on, you know, different ways that I hit and what I need to do for situational things, but mainly fundamentals. Fundamentals are the things that really help.
All the hard work will finally pay off when the Lady Noles take the field on February 8th to face Florida A&M. It's a game that starts a season of hope, a season that will include Florida State hosting the ACC tournament.
On this field, I know that we have ACCs this year, and I would like to win an ACC championship on this field. So, it's looking in our favor. I mean, we're already hosting it, so might as well win it.
The team shares a goal: winning the ACC tournament and dreams of besting last year's performance in the NCAA tourney. At least one Lady Nole has waited her entire career for the hope this season holds. Kirsten Austin is a senior outfielder whose dream is fulfilled every time she puts on the garnet and gold uniform.
Every little girl grows up dreaming of being on a field like this, playing, you know, you sit in the stands one day and you think, I want to be out here, and it's your hopes and your dreams, and you put it all on the line every day growing up to be here. And when you're finally here, it's kind of like breath of fresh air, you know, you finally accomplished a goal, and it's just all that hopes and dreams have finally come true.
With a field of hope and shared goals, this softball season is expected to be a promising one. But for now, the team is taking it day by day, hit by hit, and win by win. I'm Heather Biltock for Seminole Sports Magazine.
With the ladies determined to win the ACC tournament on their own turf and besting last year's record, there's nothing that will stop them from achieving that goal. Keep an eye out for the Lady Seminoles as they look to earn their first win of the season against Florida A&M on February 8th at 6 p.m. I'm Rob Wilson, and you've been watching Seminole Sports Magazine, presented by AT&T.